companies love them, and you get that free no-cost quote today and that free no-cost inspection. No obligation. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook for Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
There's nothing I like more than a unique, delicious meal, and that's what you get at Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Those great full fried chicken plates, the tenders, the po' boys, but I love the Southern staple chicken on a stick. It's perfect for a tailgate or watching the big game. And then the authentic Mississippi Delta recipe, homemade tamales, the best I've ever tasted. See the whole menu or order online at champyschicken.com. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Excalibur Services. Join our Total Home Comfort Club. Just like your car, your heating and cooling, electrical and plumbing systems need to be maintained for top performance, safety, and comfort. Call 205-718-8688. Excalibur Services. Alabama license number 15214.
Have you had a pipe burst, a washing machine overflow? Maybe your toilet or bathtub has overflowed upstairs and now you have water coming through your ceiling. Big problem for you? No problem for a Dry Tech specialist. They're ready to help. It is important to act immediately when water damage occurs. Failing to do so can cause mold, rot, and mildew issues. Long-term exposure to these toxins can cause many health issues down the road. So act fast. Your first step is calling Dry Tech Solutions, 205-637-0143. They have 24/7 emergency services, 205-637-0143 or mydrytech.com. When it comes to choosing a dentist, two things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-Fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Hey, Vulcan here. A century of reaching for the stars has taught me a lot. For one, your arm gets really stiff, but it is cast iron. For two, the stars not only fell on Alabama, they opened a First Bank branch in Homewood with local banking stars and community banking with a 5-star rating. Big banks? First Bank outshines them hands down. Hands down. That would be a relief.
First Bank, now open at 404 Hollywood Boulevard. Member FDIC.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 3 of the show, as always, brought to you by Champy's world-famous fried chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Our buddy Sterling there getting you set and ready to roll for another weekend. Lunch today, dinner tonight. Grab some great Champy's chicken to watch the NFL playoffs. 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Great chicken plates with all the southern sides there. The Mississippi Delta tradition of recipe homemade tamales there. Also, that chicken on a stick, po' boys, chicken tenders for the kids. It is fantastic. You're home for Blues, Brews, and Bird. It is champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com to check out the full menu and the headlines there. Cameron Latu returning to Alabama. That's a big get there. Second in the nation among tight ends with touchdown receptions. Another target for Bryce Young that he is familiar with. Always important to have as many of those as you can returning. Waiting and see a decision from Mechie and from Slade Bolden on if those veterans will be back or if they explore other options down the road there. Also in college football, LSU gets Noah Cain. You know him from Penn State, great runner for the Nittany Lions. He is now joining Arkansas DB Greg Brooks as part of the new portal classes that are rolling in with LSU. Virginia quarterback Brennan Armstrong is returning with the Cavaliers as well. Jim Harbaugh says he's likely back at Michigan. We'll wait and see as the NFL coaching cycle continues to turn up there. In basketball last night, UAB wins again at home, 84-56. Jordan Walker with 20. The Blazers go tomorrow at Bartow, 3 p.m. for that game with Florida Atlantic. Samford has a home game with ETSU at 2. Auburn and Alabama are on the road. Bama's at Mississippi State. Auburn is at Ole Miss. Those are your headlines. Let's bring in our buddy Matt Mosely, Doomsday Podcast and a longtime columnist for every major publication in Texas, ESPN, Fox Sports, you name it. Mosley's been everywhere. Matt, welcome back to the show, man. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. Trying to recover from I got kind of excited from I heard y'all are going to be in Dallas, and so I just kind of thought, well, that'll allow us to hang out a little bit, and then never got to call, so still smarting from that. Although, I guess in all honesty, I was in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl, which I think was the bigger game of the two. So I was probably out for much of those days. But still, anytime y'all come rolling into the next round, I've got the app now. I've got that all downloaded. This is loving the new format. Honestly, it's a little bit easier for a guy from Dallas to navigate when in kind of the streaming. And so, anyway, I got you guys in. I got that InfoWars. I'm streaming all those things.
Well, Matt, Infowars.com. Where we are, Alabama's become a little bit of a power in college football, but Baylor, it doesn't matter who coaches there. Art Briles had them on the cusp of a college football playoff. Matt Rule had them a series away. Dave Aranda had them right there this year. I mean, anybody can win at the power that is Baylor, right?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's right now. The men are number 1 in the country, although Texas Tech just beat us. But that was amazing, Aranda, and y'all had a good view at Aranda at LSU, and I think everybody wondered, okay, does a defensive guru like that, how's that going to translate? And it took a little while to get going because that COVID season was kind of a lost deal. But this past year, it all worked, and quite honestly, I mean, no offense to our buddy Rule, but, I mean, there was a little smoke and mirrors involved before he went off the NFL. There were tons of close wins that year, like nail-biters kind of deal. And this year, they just lined up, ran over people, and played unbelievable defense. There were in most of those games, I mean, they won. They kind of won pretty handily. I mean, they beat up on teams. OU was not really in that game. They came back and beat up on Texas, and so it's I just think, guys, it was really funny, and I won't go too far on this, but for all of us in the Big 12 to have this huge announcement that UT and OU are joining the SEC, and then OU's been so dominant in the conference. For Baylor, who was ranked 8th preseason by the media, and to finish 5th in the country was pretty heady stuff.
Yep. And we joked about that here in Birmingham, that maybe we took the wrong teams from the Big 12. Maybe we should have taken Baylor in Oklahoma instead of Texas and Oklahoma, the way things are going with the Longhorns. Matt Mosely is with us on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. Doomsday Podcast. That's a great name. Love the old Doomsday defense. Everybody seems to be saying the Cowboys will lose this weekend. Everybody's picking a 49ers upset, which usually bodes well for the team the public's not on. What's the feeling in Dallas? Is everybody on the edge of their seats thinking that this is a horrible draw in Wild Card Weekend?
Yeah, we had a good visit about that yesterday on my show, which, by the way, guys, now that you're just like basically calling all your own shots, the move is I went to 4 to 6 in the afternoons. The move is to downsize. It's not stick with 4 hours. Now, I guess you guys have such great advertising and all that. You have to keep the 4 hours. But I'm just telling you, at some point, just sneak it down to about 3. And if you get it down to 2, that is the way to go. But now I would say that the fans around here are cautiously optimistic. The problem is, this team has looked great against really bad competition. I mean, Washington, they put 50 on. They hung half 100 on Philly after Philly was resting all its starters. They got beat in the middle of that. They got beat by Arizona. I think people don't know exactly what to expect. As much as success as he's had, I think the thought is, they would way rather see Garoppolo than Kyler again, and I get that. I mean, he pulled some magic off in that last regular season game of the season, but Jimmy G, if you're picking between Jimmy and who else could have been involved? Who else could they have played? I don't know, the Rams maybe, like Stafford, Jimmy G, or Kyler. I think I would want to face Jimmy G. And part of that is, no offense to him, it's more of like they just have a feeding frenzy. And while he can move, he can't move like Murray. And this Micah Parsons is a monster, guys. I mean, you all have watched this thing. This is the most versatile player in the NFL in a long time. I mean, he can do it all. Play off the ball, up on the line, stand up. He can get down in a. He could do it all. So it's a pretty exciting thing. So I honestly am somewhat optimistic that the Cowboys could get this thing done.
Man, I stumbled across this, and you guys probably well documented this. You probably talked about it, but since the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl in 1995, they've only got 4 playoff wins. In order for the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl this year, they've got to win 4 postseason games. That's just amazing to me.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we've done those stats every which way. I get it, and they've been on the wrong end of it. Think about it. We talk about how horrible the Giants organization is, yet under Coughlin, twice they just kind of got hot and won 4 in a row, and that's what Jerry always banks on. Hey, we've seen people do this. You win. All you got to do here is win a couple of games, and you're in that NFC title game. And that's what people don't totally realize. I tried to make this point with Colin Cowherd recently, just to be able to do some name dropping. But I think that this fan base, everybody's like, well, it's all about Super Bowls. Well, as you just pointed out, 26 years removed or whatever. About to be 26 years removed. If they even made it to the NFC title game, this place would go insane. They're just, over the years, they've not been built to do that. The good news is, we got word today I mean, COVID's going to play a role in this postseason. I mean, it's played a role all across the country. I know it never hit Birmingham, but I think we somehow have to. The Cowboys are in great health all of a sudden, and they got their whole offensive line, and basically everything you need. I mean, even though their unvaccinated guy was running around at the Mavs games, he's okay. Amari Cooper, your former Bama guy, but that's a very thoughtful guy, by the way. You know, like you got what's his name, Cole Beasley, who's just embarrassing himself every time he talks. And Amari, I just kind of, the way Amari handles things, I'm okay with it. I don't go around shaming people for their decisions they make. And Amari actually, I thought, kind of handled the thing well and said, hey, I got my reasons, but what I've noticed out here is when you give your reasons, it causes great controversy, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yep.
And I actually kind of respect that. I don't have although, and I have to say, I've got more vaccinations than really anybody in the country. I'll take anything they can give me. I've just turned into Howard Hughes. I never leave the house. Do the show from the house.
How long are the fingernails right now, Mosely?
Oh, it's an amazing thing. I need to get a manicure. Never had one, by the way. I thought I need to do something like that. Get waxed or something. But anyway, I think this is going to be. I think it'll be a great game, and I thought it was hilarious that somebody did y'all see that? The 49ers came out and said, "Well, I'm familiar with their offensive tackles, and I don't really think much of them. I mean, they don't, I forget the exact wording, but basically just said, yeah, they're okay, they're decent, but I don't think that much of them. I mean, this is going to get ugly. And some people are referring to some old body bag games. The bullies from the 49ers, and they also the subtext of this, guys. I don't even know what the subtext is. It sounded good, but I like the fact that these 49ers fans are trying to buy their way into this thing, and there is some thought that Niners fans could kind of take over the stadium. I mean, Cowboys fans are nothing if not opportunistic. If you're just like, I'll give you $5 above face value, most Cowboys fans are like, done. All right.
What a deal. It's a profit. It's a profit.
Yes. I got $5 during a pandemic. Yes, I'll do it.
Hey, you tell me when I'm leaving a casino in Vegas, you'd give me $5 above every one of my tickets. I'd take it right there.
Or $5 more than you've got walking in. You just turn around and walk back out.
Absolutely. Matt Mosely is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Hey, away from the Cowboys, who needs a win? Like, which coach needs a win? Like, is it Kingsbury at Arizona? LT never believes Kingsbury's really a head coach in the NFL. He thinks he's a placeholder.
You saw him at Texas Tech. I mean, he had Pat Mahomes. He couldn't go to a bowl game, Mosely.
We paint him like he's he's just a very pretty placeholder.
Oh, he is so overrated.
Kingsbury. Well, let's see. McCarthy's got it. All of this to me, this whole, I look across the board, I look over at the AFC, and I'm just fascinated with the whole thing. And, everybody and who's kind of up against it. Kingsbury he's the most brilliant guy any of us have ever known, because he just keeps getting himself hired, and he gets fired at Texas Tech. He lands immediately at Arizona. And it's just one of those great things, because if you get labeled a genius, people will literally ignore what's before their very eyes. Like, this guy can't win. I think his most wins ever with Patrick Mahomes in the Big 12 was maybe 7 games. I don't think he ever won 8 games. And most of the time he was going like 5-6 or 6-6 and everything. And people were enamored with a lot of things. They dumpy older coaches like Fangio or McCarthy or poor Coley. I don't know if he's dumpy, but they got rid of Coley after 1 year. People value guys that look like Kingsbury. because he looks like the guy. This guy didn't even coach with McVay, but he got labeled as a McVay guy because they were somehow hanging with each other and friends. So, we kind of laughed about the McVay thing, but if you look at all these McVay guys, they're doing really well right now. I think like 5 of them are in the playoffs. So, anyway, I agree with LT. I mean, on most things in life. I don't know where we are, religious-wise. I'm more of a priesthood of the believer guy, being a Baptist, but I think LT's a sprinkle them when you're born kind of guy. But we like to dunk folks. But, most times we're on the same page. But I think Kingsbury he's a classic story. But eventually he'll get exposed. But like all these guys, I mean, in the meantime, he's going to make a ton of money. And then, we're about 7 years from him being in the whatever the new startup is, USFL.
Are we on the same page that Kellen Moore will be the next Dallas Cowboys head coach?
No, Kellen. I mean, Mike's okay. Mike's doing fine. Guy has loves to fill out a wind shirt or whatever those pullovers. He's okay. I mean, at Cowboys, he's kind of the perfect. He's a little bit more demanding than like a Wade Phillips, but he kind of fills the role that Jerry and Steven love. They were really ready to be done with Parcells years ago. Jason filled the role nicely for years and years. They don't need so. I think they would hate losing Kellen. They'll hate losing Quinn, but Kellen is even if McCarthy loses in this first round, they're not going to fire him.
I had some friends who left the beautiful Omni on one day waiting for the Cotton Bowl to happen, and went down to Waco with him and his wife, and he said it was covered up. It was like a music festival vibe that people were everywhere. Your beloved Waco has changed a lot in recent years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know why it would have been wall to wall. We're now acting like we're Austin or something. I mean, there is kind of a funky nature to it. There's some great restaurants that have cropped up. There's actually some good barbecue. Even in addition to the off the beaten path places I could take you. But there's some stuff to do. I hope he didn't get involved in that Shantyville, the reality stars. I went to college with that guy, and I mean, you talk about a shyster. Good gosh! But again, it's put Waco. In some ways, I guess it's better than the being known for the Branch Davidians, or So I guess we'll have to take it.
That's exactly where he did go, Shantyville. That's exactly what he was doing. With his wife. Yes. All right, Matt Mosely, always kind with his time, and there's not another interview in the world like him. We always appreciate his time. Matt, enjoy the football weekend, and call us back when McCarthy gets fired.
Yeah, that's what I do. Just call you guys up. Tell Brown, nice of him to show up today. Goodness gracious, yeah.
He books you and leaves town. That's what Brown does.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. That was really, really difficult to deal with. All right, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Matt Mosely with us. JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline there. Always fun to catch up with Matt Mosely. If you're a Cowboys fan, you don't do the Doomsday podcast, you are missing a time there, and always great information. Our friends right there at Precision Sports will give you an injury update right now. Precision Sports, a lot to go in the NFL playoffs. Rams quarterback Matt Stafford, toe injury. He's okay with the toe. Will be no problem on Monday night when they take on Arizona. For Arizona, J.J. Watt did practice yesterday. Doesn't know if he can play yet Monday, coming off that shoulder injury where he damaged his labrum and rotator cuff back on October 24th. But the next progression was to get him on the field. He did practice. He'll see if he can give it a go Monday night against the Rams. San Francisco left tackle Trent Williams will play in that Cowboys game, coming off an elbow injury, so he's back whole there. And for you Bama fans, Najee Harris, elbow, did practice, or is expected to practice today for the Steelers, and is expected to be a go on Sunday night against the Kansas City Chiefs for the playoffs. Those injury updates brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports.
Affiliated with Brookwood Baptist Health, Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 9 convenient locations in central Alabama, including the return of hand surgeon Dr. Joseph Sherrill. Your injury can't wait any longer. We are rebuilding champions on and off the field. So make that appointment today. Call 855-219-6200 or visit them online, precisionsportsortho.com.
Always love Mosely. Jay says Mosley's always been a good interview there. Brett says, what a cookout, Waco. LOL. It is a lot of, it's changed a lot down there. And
I've never been to Waco.
I haven't either. My buddy Aaron Suttles took his wife down there. That was who I was talking about, who left the hotel. And she loved it. He came back and said the people, he just could not imagine the number of people that were out and about in Waco.
Yeah, I think Brown and Jennifer went, and I think they both liked it a lot.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't know we'd get a Branch Davidian on the show today.
38's Gump says, man, Mosely calling out that Chip dude in Waco is hilarious. I went to school with him. Shyster.
They've made some money.
Yeah,
Boy, they have.
All right. When we come back, trash today with LT. Rockstar and Lunsford, all of us will join together and laugh at LT and get some interesting information. It is coming up next. All of our comments in the Farmfolio chat room over there. Keep those rolling in. If you're worried about market volatility or inflation, let Farmfolio show you how your investment can turn into cash flowing farmland property. How about that? See more at farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Stay up to date with the Next Round on the website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like The Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from our Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com. Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Nothing to do tonight? Wanna bet? It's non-stop gaming action at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. You'll find the latest and greatest games featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. Wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. And try your luck on our popular sports parlay promotion. Don't miss your chance to win at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Located off I-459, exit 31. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farmfolio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farmfolio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farmfolio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farmfolio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor with the next round. I want to tell you about our guys at Chorus Smart Secure, local smart home security company in Hoover with over 200 5-star reviews. I made the swap from one of those big security companies to Chorus, and the cameras and automation are awesome. Tell them the next round sent you and receive a free Sonos soundbar with the purchase of any smart home system. Call Chorus Smart Secure today, 205-920-1020. That's 205-920-1020.
You know, I'm not sure if the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana, and I know our friend from Matt from Walk-Ons really likes the Ragin' Cajuns too. I don't know if they'll field a team next year.
Is Billy taking all of them?
I mean, they're all leaving. They're either going to LSU or Florida or elsewhere. Linebacker Lorenzo McCaskill, 2-year starter and all Sun Belt team, he's also leaving. They've lost running backs and linemen, some to Florida, some to LSU, and McCaskill's on his way out the door now. The big story today in college athletics has been Jim Phillips commenting on what is the ACC stance on no college football expansion at this time. Jim Phillips says the ACC supports expansion, but that there are more important things to get right before they expand, like the transfer portal and NIL. He thinks that they should fix those, get the bylaws written and everything down on that before they move on to college football expansion. You agree?
I don't disagree with the transfer portal. You got in NIL, I don't know what you're going to be able to do with that. I think that is such a wide range of what's going on, and it's such a gray area right now. Transfer portal, this should be really simple. You should be able, I think you could get me, you, and Brown in the room, and we could figure out, hey, look, there's 2 or 3 windows. These are the only times that you can go into the portal and announce where you're going.
And even if it's a 2-week window, I mean, there's plenty of time in 2 weeks that you make the decision leading up, and then in those 2 weeks you get in and you get out.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, there's something called roster management, and we've got to get this thing figured out. I mean, look, it's the Wild West on both fronts. So I don't necessarily disagree. I don't know what you're going to be able to do with the NIL. But I do think the first priority right now should be the transfer portal and figuring that out.
ACC presidents and ADs believe the 12-team playoff extends the season too long. That's another concern there. They're extending the season too long. Player safety, they say.
I think we can get past that.
Yeah. They seem to have no problem with it in the FCS as they play, a 32-team playoff. One less regular season game and no conference championships, but a 32-team playoff.
Do you think 1 out of 3 years we'll get somebody outside of the top 4 once we get to a 12-team, a seed 5 through 12 that will win the championship?
Yeah, I mean, at some point you'll end up having.
But I'm saying, do you think you'll get it as often as every 3 or 4 years?
I don't know, but you will have the second best team in the SEC fall into that category, right?
Yeah.
So. We just saw Georgia non-SEC champion win it. We saw Alabama in 2017 non-SEC champion win it. So that's the category where the non-SEC champion is going to fall. So yeah, I think there's.
I mean, Ohio State and Utah were really good this year. They could have maybe won a game. I mean, I think either one of them could have. I mean, Ohio State did lose to Michigan, but in a rematch, either one of them could have beaten Michigan or Cincinnati.
Before we do trash, Rockstars guy Adam Mestre, who is part of our coverage up in Indianapolis.
Adam Mr. Dunaway, is a third-generation realtor who was born and raised in Birmingham, so you know he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you? Why rent when you can buy? If you're thinking of selling your house this spring, you need to act now because January is one of the busiest months when it comes to listing homes. Call Adam Mestre for a free home evaluation at 205-422-0589 or visit mdrealtyllc.com. At MD Realty, we make house calls.
Yes, they do. We're got a couple of poll questions out for you, and would love for you to go vote right now at Next Round Live, over there. The poll questions are off part of it from what Rockstar did last night. What is your favorite Lynyrd Skynyrd song? I misspelled bird. I spelled it B-U-R-D, free bird. That's just, if you look on the keyboard, you and I are right beside each other.
He got Lynyrd Skynyrd right, which is the most difficult part.
Yeah.
And didn't get
I always
bird
have to
right.
think about it when I spell it.
Yeah, Simple Man leads the way of the selected songs, 34.7%. And with great respect to Lynyrd Skynyrd's catalog, Other is in second with 27.7%. So when you put three names down and the other one is Other, that shows you how deep the catalog is when Other is coming in second behind Simple Man. Sweet Home Alabama is third with 26% of the vote, and Free Bird, B-U-R-D, much like Free Bird, B-I-R-D, is fourth.
Speaking of which, I just put on the Next Round Twitter a little sample of Free Bird last night, a little bit of the beginning of the guitar solos when it just starts getting very active.
Oh, I like
26-second clip. Yeah.
All right. And that's where is that at? Next
That's
Round
the
Live?
Next Round Twitter.
Next Round Twitter. And so go check that out there. Also, we're asking the question, would you be okay if Bill O'Brien was back at Alabama as the OC right now? Absolutely or not really is your choices. 63.9% say not really. Not really, which is surprising.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. I thought that'd be closer to 50-50, or maybe people would be absolutely wanting him back after a Heisman Trophy winning year of the quarterback and in the national championship game. All right, trash time. It is brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Rockstar, hit the big button, please.
All Brittany's life, all she ever wanted to do is get married and get rid of the last name Hickey. So, baby girl, you did it. Congratulations, Mrs. Cox.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It's so well done on that speech, but so easy, right?
Yeah, well, the cheer I had to edit, it was about 30 seconds of them just hooting and hollering about it.
Did they know what was coming, you think?
Yeah, because it was the Hickey Cox wedding.
Yeah, wow. Our trash, as Dunaway said, always brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. New year, new you, new opportunity. If you're looking to start a big project, consolidate a little debt, maybe to free up some funds, Cash Out Refinance can get you what you need, and Mortgage Right is there to make the refinancing process a breeze. If you're ready to start the new year with more cash in your pocket, then head on over to mortgageright.com/TNR NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender. Boy, this would be a bad situation. We start first. Video shows. Do you have the video? Do we want to see this?
I don't know.
A Texas man having a giant insect pulled out of his ear after it flew into it while he was working in the garage.
I don't want to see it.
Now, the patient, identified only as Ronald, was featured on this week's episode of This Came Out of Me. This is a Discovery Channel reality series that I have fortunately missed. Profiles unusual and extreme medical emergencies treated by ER doctors in Texas. Now, in the episode, Ronald is heard telling Nurse Paige how he'd been fixing up his dune buggy outside of his garage in his Odessa home when a, quote, daggum bug flew in my ear. Now, when asked whether he believed the bug was still alive, Ronald responds with what he believes is, quote, it's really irritating. Feels like it's got some wings and it's down on my eardrum, driving me crazy, he went on to say. Now, Dr. Greg Starr assesses Ronald, discovers the bug has lodged itself inside of his left external auditory canal. Starr injects several doses of lidocaine into the eardrum in a bid to either stun or kill the insect. Incredibly, when the bug was finally washed out of the ear, it was still alive. Starr is heard exclaiming as he holds the bug towards the camera, looks like a moth.
Oh. See, I would tell you... Does wax build up? Is that
Brett Michaels?
Yeah. This is the video, courtesy of Discovery Channel. Thank you, Discovery. That's the injection going in.
Lance
God almighty, I bet that hurt. It's a big-ass needle,
that
too.
thing came out the other side of his ear.
He's got that, that right leg is just twitching.
So he's dropping the thing down in there.
He's dropping some F-bombs under that mask, too, I guarantee it.
I've swallowed a bug or two running or being outside. Have you ever had anything crawling in your ear?
I don't know where any wood is. I don't want to answer this.
Yeah. There we go. Did he break his leg? There it is. He got it out. Ugh.
God.
And it's still alive.
Ugh.
So this goes back to the caveman days. Like, you just lived with that in your ear until it died, right?
You're just going to have a constant headache for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think at that point you're sticking little sticks of fire down your ear trying to kill that thing. I had a little baseball has crushed brick as dirt around the bases a lot. So back in the 80s, I had a little pebble that got lodged down in my ear and I didn't know about it. And then one time I started like, God, is that a piece of wax in my ear? And I could feel it doing when I moved my jaw like that. And I was like, God, then I put a Q-tip down and I could feel a tip of it. Had to go to the doctor because it wouldn't come out, and they pulled it out.
They just do tweezers?
Yeah, they pulled it out, and it was just a little rock that had gotten in my ear.
God. Okay, this is interesting. So we've got a recent lottery winner who hit it big, got $5.6 million back in October. Now
I could live with that.
He shared what happened to him when it came to how he handled the spending on his winnings. Now, he turned into the, quote is, "Am I the asshole?" subreddit for the verdict on whether or not he was a jerk because of what he decided to do with the money. And what he decided to do with the money was not give his family any of the money. But I think it's really interesting what he posted and, his response and everybody's response from it. So I'm going to go through the post first. On the surface, you would think you got to give family money, right?
On the surface, yes.
He posted, quote, "My wife and I are both 24 years old. Every month we buy a lottery ticket for fun. We finally won big. After the lump sum and fees and taxes, we won around $5.6 million. After paying off all our debt, student loans, our mortgage, we had around $5 million left. 70% of lottery winners go broke. So we didn't want to be in that 70%, and we didn't have to work a real job again. We invested $3 million in a combination of mutual funds, preferred stock funds, and more for a very steady, low-risk, solid return approach. With the remaining $2 million, we bought an apartment complex that cash flows and will give a high return with a low risk. When I told my family, I thought their first reaction would be exciting for me and how responsible we were financially with the money. But they instead started talking about a huge family trip, how I was going to pay off all their debt and more. I explained I had already invested and wouldn't be giving it to my family. They got mad, said I wasn't welcomed in this family anymore and should never talk to them again.
Wow.
Question, am I a jerk?
No, it sounds like he made a good plan. I probably wouldn't make that same choice because, I would feel obligated to give you guys some. You know?
Here's the problem. Well, I'll tell you what, the Redditor's main concern...
You just don't tell us you won. Don't tell us.
That's what you should really do.
Yeah.
Now, the Redditor's main concern was that he would fall into the same trap a lot of winners do. Now, most people supported the poster saying that he's not the a-hole and that they made the responsible decision. Now, and he wanted to know, are you required to give money to your family if you win? So $5 million was left. He invested the entire $5 million. I don't know how many family members there are. Take $500,000, give everybody $50,000. The problem is they're not going to be content with that.
That's not enough.
No.
Why do I get the same amount as this guy, your second cousin, when I've grown up with you?
And where does it end?
Yeah.
But that's exactly right. It wasn't going to be enough. Oh, you got $5.6 million, and you're going to give me $50,000. That's like giving me $10,
Mm-hmm.
and it will not be enough. It sounds like he made a great plan.
And everybody, there's no financially sound entire family, right? Unit.
And I know this sounds bad, but $5.6 million, if you want to never work again at the age of 24, is not a lot of money.
Luck.
It's not a lot of money. So he has to be smart of it if he wants to, never work again.
So we got a Chinese woman was stuck in lockdown with a blind date.
Okay.
I hope it went well.
Yeah.
Swift COVID-19 lockdown in China has reportedly left a woman getting stuck at the house of a man she met on a blind date. Now, a woman only identified as Mrs. Wang posted on a Chinese social media platform WeChat last week that she had gotten locked down with her date after visiting his house for a meal. Quote, "I'm getting quite old, so my parents arranged more than 10 blind dates for me," she said in this post.
Dear Lord.
She wrote that her fifth date said he was good at cooking. He invited me to his house so he could cook a meal. However, during the meal, she discovered that her date's community had gone into a swift lockdown due to cases of COVID-19 and ended up being unable to leave his house for several days. I'm running past their swift lockdown.
What do you think he told her the swift lock? Hey, I just got a phone call. We got a lockdown. I'm so sorry. You got to stay.
Miss Wang told the media on Sunday that she had been stuck for 4 days at her date's house and the situation was, quote, not ideal. However, she said that her date had cooked every day for her while they were stranded together. She added that, quote, he doesn't speak much.
So he's literally doing anything for Wang.
Oh, my.
He is.
He
Mrs.
is.
Wang,
He
yeah.
is. He is.
Now, if you turn that around.
Wang's locked in.
Yeah. I would tell you that if on her profile, her last name is Wang, and they put that she's getting old on there, what are the clientele look like? They look like me on her. She's having to swipe past a lot of old Dunaways. Old Wang, old Wang.
She's going to have to keep her head on a shrivel.
Yeah,
old Wang, old Wang,
she
old
doesn't
Wang.
want to keep her head on the swivel, as well as old Wang can cook.
Old Wang, old Wang.
Okay, I got some shower thoughts to start 2022. By the way, one of the most popular bars in Indy was the Slippery Noodle.
It was that and Howling at the Moon.
Yeah,
a lot of people went there.
That's one of those chains, though. It's the
piano
dueling
bar.
Piano bar.
Yeah. There's one of those in New Orleans, right?
Never stepped foot in that place. Did you?
I did not. There were a lot of people who said, "Come to the Howling Moon."
Here are some shower thoughts to start 2022. The first one. At some point in human history, blowing smoke up someone's ass was such a profound deception that it became its own saying.
What are you doing? Just don't worry. Okay, it just feels weird.
Here's another one, and this is true, and I blame myself for this. Dogs hear us talk all day, but if they bark for more than a few seconds, we tell them to stop.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like, Ladybird drives me crazy, is her ability to bark way too much.
Yeah, well, I got yapping dogs. They're small dogs, and they bark at anything going on outside until you let them outside, and they'll run to the fence barking, and if there's anybody or a bigger dog, they quickly run back in and shut up, you know? They're like, oh, it works.
There's a video, I'll have to find it, but it's like 3 dogs on this side of a fence, 3 dogs on this side of a fence, and the fence is closed, and they are just going at like attack mode and everything. The gate opens and slides open, and all dogs just run away.
Yep.
I mean, it's insane. Like, they're all like,
That's like
talk.
an NBA fight.
Yeah.
Here's another shower thought. This one's really good. Okay, so babysitters are teenagers that act like grown-ups so that grown-ups can go out and act like teenagers.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Correct.
Yes.
Here's another one for you. Having a sore throat must be such a bigger deal for a giraffe than a human.
It's a long way to swallow, man.
Or brown.
Yeah.
You should have seen his Mr. Echo picture yesterday.
Oh.
The neck on that,
you
on
missed
that
it.
kid in high school.
Killed him.
Did
He was
we-
like, man.
did we
So he
break it
showed a
down?
picture of like when he was in 4th grade. Then I was
there
like,
it
man,
is.
you had a much better build when you were in 4th grade.
Come in here. Come in. His 8th grade build was stud, but this is his Mr. Echo senior year. He's got that Eli Manning. And look at that neck. Look at that neck.
That is a shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody said Evil Knievel. Like those were those rugby buttons that you couldn't unbutton. That rubber was so thick.
I mean, right then you're not thinking that.
He almost got the bangs perm from Fantastic Sam's. It's Mr. Echoes.
Mr. Echoes.
Okay, here's another shower thought to start our new year with. This one's a little deep, Rocky, this shower thought. Money isn't yours, it's just your turn with it.
Yeah, you're borrowing it, and like until I give it to somebody else, you do something with this.
This could have been us. It was definitely y'all the last couple of weeks, but it could have been us just this past week. Many of us probably traveled further in a month than most of our ancestors did their entire lifetime.
I mean, think about that. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, how big of a deal was it to go 500 miles back in the day?
No, honestly, though, do you think, like your grandmother from the Mud Puddle that raised you, do you think you traveled more from Dallas to Indy back than she traveled in her whole lifetime?
Yeah, she would go back and forth. She was from down in the Pritchard area, so she'd go back and forth to Mobile.
Okay.
But that'd be about it. Like, it was a big deal for her to go from Alabaster to what is now Hoover Vestavia to that Arby's, the original Arby's up there.
That was a hike.
That was a big deal.
This one's weird. Your baby teeth are out there somewhere.
Yeah, they don't go away unless you hit them with a hammer.
I was going to say, unless somebody hits it with a mallet.
All right, so the teeth, they don't.
Yeah, it's like they don't spoil.
Another shower thought. People never disclose their first rodeo, but are always eager to inform everyone when it's not.
That's a good point. It's not my first rodeo, man.
And this next one, man, this is another deep thought, but it's kind of true. So a tall guy who works out, drives a nice car is often viewed favorably. But if a short guy works out, drives a nice car, he's viewed as possessing a Napoleon complex.
Yeah, trying to impress, man. Trying to make up these 5'9.5". It's an unfair world out there. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, the new year's here, so is your chance to make the most of your home. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they've got the perfect solution for empty pockets. Cash out refinance. With the cash out refinance, you can fund your new year by taking advantage of home equity. The best part is you can use that cash to pay for anything you want. The experts at Mortgage Right will guide you every step of the way and make getting extra cash easy. Get started online. Go to mortgageright.com/TNR.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about Heisman odds that are out there. Heisman odds in this hour of the show that are being brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Open right now for lunch. Go get you the best chicken in the world right now at Champy's.com. Champy's Chicken.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
Hey, it's Jim Dunaway from the next round. You know the best thing I ever did for myself? I visited Way to Wellness. I just feel better when I have my weight gain under control. They helped me lose 45 pounds back in 2020. That lowered my blood pressure and gave me my life back. Everything is designed for you, and there are no contracts and no sign-up fees. And you even get a free consultation. The website is aplanforme.com or call 205-994-2393. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Hello, Vulcan here. Can we talk? Sure, I'm the biggest thing in Birmingham, being 56 feet tall, but big isn't always better. It's what you're big on. Like the great community banking at First Bank's new financial center in Homewood. Their reputation for customer service towers. Bank where you stand tall, without birds perching on your head. No, they're building a nest.
First Bank, now open at 404 Hollywood Boulevard. Member FDIC.
Did you tweak your shoulder putting up the Christmas decorations? Injure your elbow shooting hoops in the backyard? Or finding pain in your knees getting up from the couch at halftime? Precision has 9 locations in the Birmingham metro area to get your life back on track. We're rebuilding champions on and off the field, so make that appointment today. Call 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
The real estate market is crazier than it's ever been before. I'm Jim Dunaway, and my friends at ERA King have 52 years of experience, over 200 agents, and they're opening new offices right now in Homewood, Vestavia, and Huntsville. ERA King has state-of-the-art offices and the most innovative tools in the business to help you. Text the word MOVE to 35260 to get started. That's the word MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35260. ERA King Real Estate, growing to serve you.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The Next Round team is getting healthy in 2022. You can join the challenge as we look to lose weight with our friends at Way to Wellness. Plus, you can participate with your office as well and win a grand prize. For more information, go to nextroundlive.com. Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to decide to ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
With college football coming to a close, the work doesn't stop for LancesLock.com. College hoops, the NBA, the NFL playoffs, all the way through the Super Bowl. If there is action out there, we've got action on it. Get on board with us. It's the greatest deal in the history of sports gambling at only $90 a month. That breaks down to $3 a day, and you get it all. Basketball, football, baseball, and more. Go to LancesLock.com to subscribe. If you're tired of losing, start playing and win with us. LancesLock.com. Again, go online, LancesLock.com.
Approach the top of the hour here. Heisman odds out there for 2022 already. Being brought to you by the great folks at Odie's, where LT and Rockstar entertain you with trivia every Wednesday night.
Yeah, great place to go get a meal from Rodney Davis. Been cooking them up for almost 30 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers. My personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich. You can sit inside or outside, enjoy one of those ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, those huge styrofoam cup, famous cocktails. Will Haver and that great staff. It's Birmingham Institution. It's Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Heisman odds. Obviously, when you have the Heisman Trophy winner returning for a team that should be number one, the odds will be pretty skinny. And Bryce Young, right now, the betting favorite to win back-to-back Heisman trophies.
Yeah, I'm seeing him at 2-1. I mean, you get zero value out of that.
But as you know, the chances of that happening, slim and none.
You know, Brown brought this up the other day because I brought up Will Anderson and where he would mix in on this whole thing. And he said, what are the chances that voters would vote 3 consecutive Alabama winners? Voters like to vote outside of the box. One of the reasons Aiden Hutchinson came in second this year, and it's like they're clamoring they want that defensive guy to win it again. How about a back-to-back winner? We haven't had it since Archie Griffin.
Yeah, so that is really hard because, as Brown and I always point out, and you do too, you're chasing your own ghost at that point. You've got to be better than you were the year you won the Heisman. You can't be the same or less.
But do you think there's an appetite for voters out there to, hey, man, I was one of the guys that voted Bryce Young to win back-to-back?
Yeah, no, I don't think there is. So you got to be so much better than you were the year before. We've seen it with Tebow and others on trying to go back-to-back. Will Anderson, though, would be out of the box as he's a defensive player, so he may have the better chance of an Alabama player. But the usual cast of characters are there. What is funny is that with the transfer portal, there are some guys like Caleb Williams, who is the third favorite betting odds. He doesn't have a team, LT, right now. Now, everyone's expecting it to be USC maybe as early as right now. But right now, he's TBD as far as his team, and he's the third betting favorite in Vegas for the Heisman.
10-1, we saw moments where he was electrifying, and you assume that he's going to be reunited at USC with his former coach Lincoln Riley. I would think maybe he has a better chance at USC of winning a Heisman than Oklahoma. You know, I don't know who ultimately has the better year, probably Oklahoma, but the numbers I think he would put up with Lincoln Riley. I mean, with Jeff Lebby, he'll put up numbers at Oklahoma. Bryce, I don't feel like taking a flyer at 10-1, though.
Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud is the second one, 4-1 odds there. Caleb, Travion Henderson's the top-rated running back there. Spencer Rattler, South Carolina quarterback. He still gets some Heisman love right there, the fifth betting odds there. DJ Uiagalelei is still there. Bijan Robinson, who you like a lot. Will Anderson, Kennedy Brooks of Oklahoma. There's J.T. Daniels right ahead of Tank Bixby on the betting odds.
At 20-1. And I don't know why people assume J.T. is going to be the starting quarterback at Georgia. I would go Stetson first right now and then one of those five-star guys before J.T. I'm a little surprised J.T. hasn't put his name in the transfer portal. We'll see what happens. If I had to take a flyer on one of these, probably Travion Henderson at 15-1. I think he'll be the best running back in college football.
Bruce Feldman and others reporting that Georgia running back Zamir White joins James Cook as declaring for the National Football League. So there's another of the Georgia players on their way out the door leaving Athens after their national championship. Good read earlier today at the nextroundlive.com website, the morning rounds, on how Dan Lanning views Bo Nix. Chris says Oregon running back Jermaine Dye hitting the portal as well. They've got some playmakers there who are either leaving or heading for the NFL. Decisions to be made again. Monday is the deadline for declaring for the NFL draft upcoming. A full list will be released next week from the NFL. Speaking of which, when we come back, we'll talk NFL playoffs. It all starts tomorrow. 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. Where are you guys on? Is it a Packers-Titans Super Bowl? In the Farmfolio chat room, who do you want to see in the Super Bowl? What's the dream matchup for you? We'll discuss some of the big games next on The Next Round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
The new location of Walk-Ons is now open at Stadium Trace in Hoover, near the Hoover Met. And just like the location off Highway 280, you get authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh from scratch every day. Walk-Ons Happy Hour is 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. Download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons off Highway 281-19 and now at Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. There's no better way to kick off the new year than by getting your finances in order. And our friends at Mortgage Right can help you beef up your bank account with ease. With a cash-out refinance, you can pay off your debt or make that important purchase by taking advantage of your home equity. Don't miss out on the chance to make your home work for you. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to make the most of this opportunity today. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender.
Banking is not just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. Ryan Brown here for The Next Round. AmFirst was founded for members like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means service that grows and changes with the times to serve you better. Now every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. America's first federal credit union is federally insured by the NCUA.
When it came to furnishing the new facilities here at The Next Round, there was only one call we made, and that was to Richie Hamer at Business Interiors right here in Birmingham. Richie and Business Interiors have a true passion for interiors and the talent to bring the client's vision to life. Through their vast selection of great designer furniture, Richie and BI will stop at nothing to make the experience great for the client. Repeat clients trust Richie and Business Interiors because he does what he says, and the guys will deliver on their promises. Leave it to Richie and Business Interiors to incorporate creativity into every space in your corporate setting. To set up an appointment, call Richie today. 205-837-2497. That's 205-837-2497. Or just go visit Richie at the BI showroom today. They're located 2309 5th Avenue South in Birmingham. Again, the entire studios here at The Next Round furnished by our friends at Business Interiors. Go see them today, 5th Avenue South in Birmingham.
Your 24-hour home for the show is our website, nextroundlive.com. Easy links to the day's top stories in the morning rounds, plus the latest videos from the show, podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, The Mystery Fifth Hour, Last Call, and other shows from our Double Down Media podcast family. Nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or find easy-to-listen-to hour-by-hour downloads from the Next Round Live show. And get the latest gear in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com.
What are some signs that you may have a low testosterone problem? Is your energy down? Have your workouts not been the same? Do you have problems sleeping? All of these or one of these could be a sign of a low testosterone issue. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution for you. I'd invite you to come by the Homewood location, get a medical consultation and some blood work. And if you're medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Well, the next question would be this. How do I set up the appointment? You can do it two ways. One, by calling 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. Or you can go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. There's other signs that you could have a low testosterone problem, like a change in your libido, or maybe you're suffering from depression. Whatever is keeping you from feeling 100%, it's time you find out the answer. Again, call the number 205-598-7000 or go online to alabamamensclinic.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with your final hour of the week. It's been a long week, too, up to Indianapolis for the national championship last Friday. Worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, now Friday. Looking forward to a couple of days off to watch the NFL playoffs. We will enjoy that over the weekend. I hope you do, too. Get a chance to watch the National Football League. But as we do on Fridays, we tapped the keg here in the back, thanks to our friends at Bud Light. It is the Bud Light happy hour here on the next round. Always drink responsibly here. And we'll roll through the headlines, being brought to you by our friends at Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. Let me see if I can get that right, Rockstar. Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing.
Good job.
If you want me to, that's been the talk of the Farmfolio chat room all morning long.
I liked how you did it before, to be honest with you.
Iron Mountain. I'll do it the way you want me to do it. I'll roll through Iron Mountain, however you want me to do it. But either way, you got to keep a great plumber on standby. That's Jeremy Purvis and his team. They also help you out with your construction work site. If you are doing buildings and doing construction work, they can do that at Iron Mountain Construction. They can help you out. They're committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through the execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget, small capital construction work. On time, on budget. Where do you get that? You get it with Iron Mountain Construction. Iron Mountain Construction, plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. It's all under one umbrella at ironmountainworld.com. Plumbing and construction site work, residential or commercial. Fully insured, licensed, and bonded. It's our friends at ironmountainworld.com, ironmountainworld.com. Just Drain It LT will send you a lockout a little bit later on. Cameron Latu is coming back. Noah Kane left Penn State. He's at LSU. Brennan Armstrong's coming back to Virginia. Jim Harbaugh is waiting to make a decision if he's going to be offered an NFL job or if he's sticking at Michigan. He's leaning that Michigan is the place he's going. It looks like Travaris Robinson, T-Rob of Auburn fame, has been with Will Muschamp at South Carolina. It looks like he will be a Georgia defensive back coach. Todd Monken is waiting to see. There's belief that when this all settles, that Todd Monken may leave Georgia as well and go back to the NFL and coach. That his time may be done in
what capacity? As an OC, I guess?
As an OC, yeah.
I guess the money's comparable. You think Todd Monken's got a pretty good spot now. They just won a national championship.
Yeah, but you're the OC, a team that just won the national championship. Can Stetson Bennett, if he comes back, do it again? And now no Cook, no Zamir White, probably no George Pickens.
And by the way, the offense never blew me away. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
You brought this point up, and it's a legitimate point that's been brought up for years. You have less work in the NFL. And as an offensive coordinator, you've really got one job in the NFL.
I don't like saying less work. It's more structured work, right? We work at this time. We're off these months. We're off these weeks. This is what we do.
But Todd Monken is putting together a game plan for 12 regular season opponents. But he also has to go out, and he's got his region of the country that he is recruiting. And he's got to bust his ass, and that's just as important as those.
And that's nonstop.
Opponents.
And that there's no off time with that.
There really isn't. And you've got to deal. I can't even imagine. And these guys are starting to recruit kids when they're 16, maybe even 15 years old.
So those are your headlines. UAB wins at basketball last night. They're at home tomorrow against FAU. That game's at 2. Auburn's at 6:30 against Ole Miss on the road. Bama's on the road at Mississippi State. So basketball happening this weekend as well. Those headlines for you brought to you by ironmountainworld.com, ironmountainworld.com. Jeremy Purvis, just drain it there. I want to talk some NFL playoffs with you guys, and I'm interested over in the Farmfolio chat room on which NFL matchup that you'd love to see in the Super Bowl. Obviously, the 1 seeds are Tennessee and Green Bay. Did you know this, that without Derrick Henry, The record was virtually the same this year. With Derrick Henry, they were 6-2. Without Henry, they were 6-3.
You know, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday regarding the Titans, and they play up or down to their competition. You know, they had bad losses. I think they lost to, and Lunsford helped me out here, they lost to the Jags and the Texans, right?
Yeah, maybe Jets. It was two really horrible teams.
Jets, Jags, and Texans, I think, or at least two of those three. Yeah, I mean, they had terrible losses, and then they go on the road to SoFi and just completely dominate the Rams. I mean, great wins, bad losses. I don't know where I am on this Titans team because Ryan Tannehill, is he one of those guys that you can trust to win 2 games and get you to a Super Bowl?
And with Derrick Henry coming back, it'll be fun to watch. He'll be good to go next weekend. The Packers are off as well. Aaron Rodgers says his toe will be fine 100% by the time they play next weekend. But this weekend, we have tomorrow the Raiders and the Bengals, followed at night by Mac Jones and the Patriots against the Bills in sub-zero weather. Then on Sunday, it's the Eagles with Jalen Hurts against the Bucs, 49ers and Cowboys, Steelers and the Chiefs on Sunday night, and then Monday night, Cardinals and Rams. If I ask you most pressure on a head coach, we sort of touched on this with Mosely, Matt Mosely, podcast at nextroundlive.com. Which head coach that is playing this weekend has the most pressure on them? Which head coach? Is it Mike McCarthy? Is it Cliff Kingsbury?
I think it's probably Cliff Kingsbury. You know, Sean McDermott got to an AFC championship game. We know Belichick's Belichick. Zachary Taylor finally just got Cincinnati to the playoffs. Sachi's an interim coach. Sirianni's in year 1. Arians just won a Super Bowl. Shanahan was in a Super Bowl 2 years ago. I mean, it's one of those two. Yeah, it's either Mike McCarthy or Cliff Kingsbury. I'm going to say it's Cliff Kingsbury. McCarthy's won a Super Bowl before.
But Dallas seemed, I mean, Matt Mosely surprised me that he didn't feel like McCarthy had to look over his shoulder at Kellen Moore or anybody else. That surprised me a little bit.
I mean, if you're making the decision for Dallas and Kellen Moore's like, hey, look, I'm going to take this other job unless you get rid of McCarthy.
I would go Kellen Moore.
I think I would too.
I'd keep Kellen Moore. I think it just looks better for the organization to be younger and than Mike McCarthy. But Dallas is there, and they've got a tough draw against San Francisco. Kingsbury is in a tough situation playing on the road against the Rams. They've been so good on the road, but a lot of people don't think he's legitimate. Everyone loves Sean McVay, and everybody did the Sean McVay model for a while. But what are you expecting out of the Rams? I mean, if they get eliminated in the first round, is there some questions that all of a sudden start being asked about McVay himself?
I don't know. I mean, 5 years, 3, and you can make the argument the NFC West over the last 5 years has been the toughest division out there, right?
Right.
And he's won it 3 times. And he's been to a Super Bowl, and he went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and they still had a really, really good year at 12-5 this year. So I don't think so. And Mosley made this point. You know, I mentioned Zachary Taylor. He's got the Bengals in the playoffs, McVay guy. Matt LaFleur, I still think they probably win the Super Bowl, McVay guy. So these McVay guys are having success, unlike a lot of Nick Saban guys. I guess Saban guys are starting to have success this year. But I don't think there's any pressure or any negative thoughts towards Sean McVay. Look, if they lose this game, they underachieved this year. I don't think there's any doubt because they were all in on not only getting to a Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl this year, and to be bounced in the wild card round would be a major disappointment. But again, Kingsbury was there last year with Kyler Murray. They didn't even get to the postseason.
What about we have developing news with Slade Bolden in just a second we'll tell you about. We'll continue that conversation, obviously, about coaches in the playoffs. But first, the developing story with Slade Bolden. And I'll open it up and just read you what he has sent out here. Thank you, Bama. Roll Tide forever from Slade Bolden.
Oof.
So he's on his is he on his way to the NFL? It's a long read. He's on his way to the NFL.
That's what it sounds like. And I totally. I mean, to each their own. Good luck to Slade.
Yep.
I just don't think he'll get drafted.
I think that's surprising a little people that Slade Bolden is entering the NFL draft right now. On the show yesterday, he said he was weighing his options and had not made a decision yet. A little over about 25 hours ago. So Slade Bolden, 42 catches, 408 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he is a guy leaving eligibility on the table to enter the NFL draft.
He seems like a guy, and again, you don't know everybody's situation. It seems like a guy that loves the college experience, obviously loves the Alabama program, had an opportunity to come back next year as the leading wide receiver coming back with Jameson Williams on, and more than likely John Mechie will declare next. We're just assuming that. I'm just a little surprised here.
Me too. Now, was he going to be the main target? No, he wasn't going to be the main target. He would probably stay in his slot position, and one of the big recruits would be, running the Williams and the Mechie roles at 1 and 2, and he'd stay in the slot. So I don't know if his numbers would change, and I don't know if his draft stock would change. But with that being said, there's a chance he's going to leave and not play
ever again.
And not get drafted and not be on the
that.
team. I mean, there's that chance. I mean, we've seen better wide receivers leave eligibility on the table. I can't remember the Auburn guy a few years ago who was much more of a deep threat. And he left early, eligibility on the
Williams,
table.
Right?
And I don't even think it was Duke. I think it was somebody else. But Duke was one of those, and went and didn't get drafted. Never really made it. Eventually, I guess he made it on the roster. We asked Alabama fans earlier, would you be upset about Slade Bolden leaving? And a lot of people were hoping, just in my response to posting what he said yesterday on the show, they were like, we feel like we have a lot of talent on the bench that he's sort of standing in the way of getting out there. But my goodness, the guy was pretty clutch. I mean, he doesn't catch a lot of balls, but he was that security blanket for a quarterback in trouble. Never the 1 or 2 option, but always the 3 option. Rusty says, I think he's hoping he can do what Hunter Renfrow is doing. I mean, I love Slade to death, but
was never Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is an athlete.
Yeah, was never Hunter Renfrow. Going back to his Clemson days, Hunter Renfrow was part of the game plan. Hunter Renfrow was, and again, I'm not taking a knock on Slade. I'm pulling for him. I hope he gets drafted. I hope he plays in the NFL for the next decade, has a great career. I question it. And again, we're old men that sit back here and just do this for a living. We sit on our couches and watch these games. Slade does have the intangibles of being a great competitor, and I'm sure when he sits down with organizations and he meets with them, I think they're going to be blown away with the personality. But once you get out there, I just don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Did you ever see Slade come close to taking over a game?
I did not. And they needed him the other night, I guess, to do that. And he made some plays, but then, he in his position, he's never the first option. Bobby in the Farmfolio chat room, Jim's ball washing didn't convince Slade Bolden to stay at Bama, but it was a tough decision.
Rocky, you did miss it. Dunaway basically begged Slade to come back.
Well, it didn't work. My God.
I just laid out the potential of what he could have next year.
What could he have?
A segment on this show every week.
Oh, wow.
And
I guess the NFL.
I guess that rushed him to the NFL right there.
I did say this, though, Rocky. I mean, he would get paid by probably multiple sponsors to come back, so the kid would have money next year. He'd be playing with Bryce Young. They're going to be favored to win the national championship. He had national championship in 2020, but had that bad taste in his mouth to end the career. I just thought for sure he would come back.
Jay says, bring him to the Stallions, USFL joke. Nate loves Slade, but he'll be a GA in 2023. Jeff, hope it works out for Slade, but I think this is a mistake.
It could be so ironic, or I don't know if ironic's the right way to describe this, but Slade goes, declares for the NFL, Mechie comes back.
I think Alabama fans would take that trade.
They would definitely take that.
Brett says, best of luck to Slade. Rusty, personally, I think it's a bad move, but good luck to Slade there. Instant reaction in the Farmfolio chat room there. So Slade Bolden, surprising some, but we were sort of cued into this up in Indianapolis that it was very much on Slade's mind. And I even said, well, surely, after meeting with the coaches and getting his NFL evaluation, he will come back and play. And the guy said, Jim, I mean, he's a really big insider. You would be surprised at what gets inside these guys' heads. And once they've said something in the locker room or been posturing themselves in front of other teammates and stuff, sometimes they feel like they've gone too far. They're not coming back. And so I was surprised to see Slade.
I just hope he's not getting bad advice. That one uncle that's like, I'm telling you.
Chris says this opens the door for JoJo Earl to move into the slot position. And we'll see how that all shuffles out. But so Latu back, Slade Bolden not back as he goes to the National Football League. That news developing here in the final hour of the show. I'll tell you about the rest of the show after LT tells us about the Urology Centers of Alabama, our medical minute here, and then what's coming up for the final 45 minutes after this.
Yeah, Urology Centers of Alabama currently looking for participants for our active clinical trials. With over 3 decades of experience, the UCA Research Department has been dedicated to developing treatments for urological conditions into the future. Our research team specializes in a variety of urological fields, which allows them to expertly conduct studies on a spectrum of conditions such as prostate cancer, bladder cancer, and urinary tract infections. These study medications go through rigorous lab testing and are offered through leading national pharmaceutical manufacturers. Patients who participate will have the access to new forms of treatment, may receive financial compensation, reimbursements for travel expenses, and are likely to receive free medications. In addition, participants are given a specialized level of care due to the number of UCA doctors and staff monitoring the trial process. Clinical research is key to discovering new medications that can lead to groundbreaking treatments. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, bladder cancer, or a recent urinary tract infection, contact Urology Centers of Alabama to learn if you qualify to take part in our current trials. For more information or to sign up, visit urologycentersalabama.com or call 205-930-0920.
All right, a lot of Alabama fans excited now about what could be happening in the portal for Alabama down the road. Something to keep an eye on today and over the weekend and into next week, as the portal conversation now replacing some people in the receiving department could be opening up for Alabama to go with those great young receivers there they have in the receiving room. When we come back, Rockstar has our 4 downs. Lunsford will join the conversation for the 3 and out there. And then later in this hour, we're going to sort of put sports on the side burner. Lunsford has also compiled in the segment after that some of the best burns from Wendy's Burn Day earlier this week. I saw Forrester and Lunsford laughing as they were rolling through those. So we'll get to that over the next couple of segments coming up on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
New year, new you, new opportunity. If you're looking to start a big project, consolidate some debt, or free up funds, a cash-out refinance can get you what you need. And Mortgage Right is there to make the refinancing process a breeze. Ready to start the new year with more cash in your pocket? Then head on over to mortgageright.com/TNR. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. A good locally owned company. mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa. Has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org. America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA. Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Lance Taylor with the Next Round. I want to tell you about our guys at Chorus Smart Secure, local smart home security company in Hoover with over 200 5-star reviews. I made the swap from one of those big security companies to Chorus, and the cameras and automation are awesome. Tell them the Next Round sent you and receive a free Sonos soundbar with the purchase of any smart home system. Call Chorus Smart Secure today, 205-920-1020. That's 205-920-1020.
Back with you on the Next Round. LT will be with us for the 3 and Out in just a second. Rockstar's in here now. Lunsford's on the big board. Lunsford, I was just telling Rockstar, typical Jim. I went to message a guy named Nick who listens and watches our show, who used to intern with Rick and Bubba. And I was going to DM him about something yesterday. So I was DMing this guy who follows me and I knew through Rick and Bubba. So I go to DM him, and I realize he had sent this long message looking for advice on the career, blah, 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 and inviting me to go to lunch with him so he could talk about his future. I did not reply to that, and it was sent to me November 2nd, 2016.
Yikes. It's not good.
So I DM'd him yesterday saying, wait, did you try to invite me to lunch on November 2nd, 2016, and I never replied? And blank, are you dating blank? If so, I know her family, you better treat her right. He wrote back, sadly, blank, and I broke up in November. Yeah, I tried to write you because I've been listening to you guys, watching you on television. I tried to get your advice about my career back in 2016. You never replied. Since then, I've gone to and graduated college.
How awesome is that?
Great.
Work for ESPN.
Yeah.
He's already
So
done
this was a
everything.
DM. How did you find a DM that deep?
It still is there. It still is there.
It was a text message, wasn't it?
No, it was a DM.
How's it not been pushed
DM
down
on Twitter?
by
Because
everything else?
we've never DM'd. Well, I searched his name because I was going to DM him, and I didn't think I'd ever DM'd him, and apparently I had not. But he had DM'd me back in November of 2016, and it was still there in my DMs. I'd never replied, so apologizes.
Do you think he would have changed his career path?
I don't know what I know he does some side stand-up comic work right now.
That is a tough job.
That is.
God bless him.
That is. And did you talk about Saget since he passed? Were you with us that day?
Yeah.
We were on the road, so we weren't together.
We talked about it Tuesday because I think he died on Sunday.
Yeah, because he was a guy that had gotten back into stand-up comedy. And any of those people that rolled through our days over at Jocks and will be coming through here with our friends at the comedy club here, they talk about what a grind it is on the road, but it seems like it's one of those grinds that they love, though, when they're out touring. They fall in love
I think
with
the
it.
natural high. I think like Rockstar being on stage. I mean, I think it's something that a lot of us will never get to experience, being able to perform and entertain a crowd like that.
What's also the fear I hear Jim Norton and Artie Lang talk about it all the time. They'll take vacations and stuff. And Seinfeld's the same way. He says that I cannot have time off. If I miss a week, I lose my timing, I lose my delivery, and you feel rusty. So when they're like off for 2 weeks, like this, but these guys travel so much, and then they're on the road. They hate it. They wish I was at home, but then they're at home. I wish I was on the road. But they just get like, I feel so bad. If I don't do a show, at least 2 shows a week, I'm going to lose everything, and I'm going to lose the way I deliver my jokes. And you're a comedian. You've tried it before. Could you have done that same act at a 9 o'clock show and then tomorrow go to Cincinnati?
No,
because I do a morning radio show and then got to kill 5 hours in a hotel by yourself.
I don't even know what I said that night. I can't imagine trying to recreate it.
I couldn't hear it through all the laughs.
Yeah, exactly. Dishes crashing
You
in
can
the
hear
back.
over my laugh, right?
All right, Rockstar's in here to do 3 and Out. It is brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive.
Yeah, anything you need bumper to bumper for you or your family, these guys can handle. Again, locally owned and operated, from the brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. They can do it for you. Take it by one of the 4 locations. They're online, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
What makes a girl instantly unattractive?
The face.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, let's be
I'm
honest.
out.
This is where the whole foot fetish of me on the show started. I mean, you can be, and obviously there are things that make guys very unattractive to women right off the bat too. But I have been at a pool before, or the beach before, or just places where shoes are off. That if the feet are really banged up, if you've got a big toe that is, almost on top of the other one, I mean, that can be unattractive instantly.
But is that a deal breaker for you?
Oh, it is. I broke up.
So she could be a complete 10 except she's got curly toes?
Yeah.
Well, Dunaway worked with a girl in the past, and I remember not pulling a Dunaway, but we had a longer conversation, and we were all hanging out or whatever, and I saw her feet. First of all, she had a terrible tattoo on the foot, but then her second toe, and I've got a longer second toe too, but it was really, really long.
Yeah.
Like almost like this long. So I thought that was weird. I hate when girls talk a lot of fantasy football too.
Oh, that's a big one. Like,
yeah,
they act like they're all about football.
Oh yeah, I just.
Well, no, like the fake.
You want to escape that too.
Yeah, you do, but the way too tough. If we're sitting at walk-ons and a girl wants to sit there and talk fantasy football with me, I'm not listening to you.
But there is a
not fantasy football. Her fantasy football team. That's even better.
Yeah.
There's a mix though, because Maggie rarely knows the score of any game or who's playing or what. And like the kick 6, when I called her after the kick 6 after we'd gotten off the air, no clue. She's like, "Did we win?" I was like, "You don't even know what happened?" And she's like, "No." And I mean, there's got to be a little. You got to get some interest.
Example
in
would be like the roommate will watch a full Saturday, Sunday with me.
Yeah,
but she's not going to be like, "I cannot believe they didn't go to the tight end there."
Yeah.
I mean, I think
you got to run on third down. You got to run.
Yeah. What does she think? Clock management with this sumbitch is awful.
For women, they love eyes. Smiles,
I like the pizza rolls. Let's get the pizza rolls out.
Personalities. But turnoffs for men, obviously, I think we're a little
Curly
bit more.
Toes.
We're a little bit more materialistic,
Yeah.
I guess.
Judgmental.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Second down.
Speaking of that, what is something that is better when it is smaller?
Well, I've convinced Maggie of of a lot of things, houses.
The older I get, shots.
Income.
First of all, I've learned at my age I can't do shots anymore. I used to
shots
think
of alcohol?
Yeah, I used to be really good at them.
The funniest
but
thing.
The smaller the shot, the better for me now.
The funniest thing, we were at a bar with Lance in Nashville. We went to the Rams Titans game. And we went to a bar afterwards this night, and Lance is talking to someone, and they're trying to buy shots for him. We're at the bar, and I am miserable. I'm on my phone.
I think this was in Orlando, or it might have been both.
I think it was.
I've
it
done it a
was
few
probably
times.
Orlando. I can't remember. But they bought shots, and Lance is doing the countdown, like, ready, 1, 2, and he just throws it over his shoulder. Like, literally throws, like, you got wet floor everywhere. I'm laughing my ass off.
I've
It
gone
happened
at
2 or 3
points
times.
before, and I'll make friends with bartenders, and I'll be like, okay, they want to do Rumple Mints or tequila. You're going to pour water in mine, and we're going to pour Rumple or tequila in theirs.
Yeah. Just the best is just throwing it over your shoulder.
I really think that the bartender thinks you're you're taking advantage of some people if you ask that at that point.
No, because I had been drinking plenty that night.
Here,
they knew what my tab was.
Put this in hers.
Yeah, if I did.
Hers.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
Southern Snapper says consumer debt. I mean, debt being smaller obviously is huge. Brooks, who's one of our Farmfolio chatters all the time, I saw him on a clip from the Dave Ramsey show. He and his wife have been married 36 months. And they were on the Dave Ramsey show where they got invited to the studio to do the debt-free shout. I've never watched the show, but I saw this social media clip. He and his wife, and he's a local TV photojournalist in Milwaukee, used to intern with us up at Jocks, and his wife's a registered nurse. They paid off in 30 months $162,000 of personal debt.
That's incredible.
They are debt-free, and they went on a trip to Ireland to reach their goal. Congratulations, paying cash for that. He caught COVID over there, and they had to stay 8 extra days.
Hope he wasn't in that pub where you had to pay the €2.
the COVID jar?
Yeah. So they had to shut down in a hotel for 8 extra days, and they said there was no worries because we had the emergency fund. So, I mean, just to be able to be debt-free, never have to worry about that. Yeah.
That last payment where you see zero.
So hats off to Brooks.
Third down.
Paige.
You are given a plate of the best fries, and you are giving any dipping sauce you want. What do you choose?
Man, this is tough. I know Lunsford's not a ketchup guy.
Ketchup and mayo is good, and then I like the fries with queso. I don't know why.
Wow.
See, that'd be my answer.
Fries
It's got to be
with queso?
cheese. Yeah.
Anything with queso.
See, the Chipotle mayonnaise is really good. There's one local joint that's got the best honey mustard in the world, so whenever I'm there, I dip the fry in the honey mustard, but I probably would go Chipotle mayo or just a ketchup.
Yeah, I mean, I just like a Heinz ketchup.
Is there ever a time where you just don't need a dip? Like, these fries are so good, I don't need ketchup. I do that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I can just eat these by themselves.
I can too. Brown doesn't like the really thick steak fries.
Hate them.
But I was
Too
at a
much
place
potato.
yesterday that they were not steak fries, but they were cut specifically by this restaurant, and they had a lot of potato to them, and they were some of the best fries I'd ever had.
I like the skin on them too, but you bring this up, and it's weird because I don't have McDonald's. Like, I haven't had it. I can't even remember the last time. But McDonald's fries, I typically don't use ketchup.
Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, I like
The thinner the better.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Oh, the shoestring fry,
those
which you
yes.
can't find them
They
anywhere.
come in that little
No.
basket. You just take a handful. Whoa.
It's lazy to do like steak fries, in my opinion.
Lazy.
I think
Yeah.
it is lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get a baked
Get
potato.
somebody's going to cut a little thinner.
Just get a baked potato.
Jay says if there's cheese and bacon ranch outside of that, fries go in ketchup. But you can get loaded fries, which are delicious.
I'll tell you, the loaded fry, I still get it. I'll still go every now and then to Outback.
Oh, so good.
And get the cheese fry, and they've got the side of ranch.
It's good.
That's unbelievable.
And you waddle back home.
Jeremy says I'm a mustard only on fries. I did that back in my McDonald's high school days. I would do mustard and ketchup and mix it together.
Mustard only. That's interesting.
Rob W. does Tabasco ketchup. Eat nacho cheese.
I'm not a big fan of nacho cheese.
Yeah. People do that with the Wendy's Frosty too, man. They'll
I can never get into that.
dip the fry into the Frosty.
It's sweet and salty.
Done it. It's okay. So the queso, and so that's how the nacho fry that came back, right, from Taco Bell?
Nacho fries are out of this world.
But did it come with the queso?
Yeah.
So is that where you discovered that?
Well, I mean, any kind of cheese on fries, I'll eat. Queso, like if it's like a white queso, like you get like Mexican restaurants, that's better.
That's the best.
But Taco Bell has that yellow government cheese kind of
nacho cheese.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could talk Will Haver into doing a Mexican fry as one of his sides. I guess you'd have to get a fryer.
I'll
so that'd
text
be a
him
pain
right
in the
now.
ass.
Yeah. Do that. Tell them to call them next round fries.
I mean, would you not order them though?
Yeah. Or you can call them Stetson fries.
Or Mexican tots.
Mexican tots would be good.
See, put that
Just
kind
pour
of
the cheese
cheese
on them.
But you got to put the seasoning on the fries or tots. That's what really makes it. The cheese is good, but season it some way. And that's what made the Taco Bell fries
But isn't
really
there a
good.
place where you can get just like a plate of tots with everything on it?
I went to
loaded tots.
I played a place that was loaded tots with like pieces of grilled chicken on it and everything. It was amazing, but it was like this high.
Boy, I bet you shat for weeks.
Oh,
But like nachos.
I was held up a little bit.
Nachos, but without the chips. They're potato. They're
Yeah.
tater
Fries.
tots in place of the chips.
Tots, yeah.
Fourth down.
What is the first thing you think of when I say Birmingham?
Sadly, I think of Vulcan.
Yeah, that's first image that popped in my mind was the Vulcan.
Vulcan, and now there's that Birmingham sign. I think it's on 18th or 20th. It's painted. You don't know what I'm talking about. People get pictures made there all the time.
Yeah, it's Welcome to Birmingham.
Welcome to Birmingham, yeah.
Oh, what's the little light tunnel, the rainbow light tunnel that's on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's like between north and south, yeah.
The next round?
Yes. I think of opportunity. I think of promise and
BJCC.
Yeah, Vulcan, which I live across the street from it from 5 years.
You never went up there, did you?
No. Oh, I did an interview with Will Lockamy and Reed Lockamy. That's the last time I've been to Vulcan since probably third grade. But I've never done the fire. I was literally, you could step up my porch and watch that fireworks show, and my cat loved it. Old Milton would go into the bed for at least a day.
See, Southern Snapper said violence is the first thing I thought of before I moved here. And just like with any city, man, there's crime in every major city. You put that many humans together.
But I thought you were going to go, somebody was going to go through to restaurants. We are getting so many good original restaurants.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of an image, and I wonder if you ask people the image, I bet at least half would say Vulcan.
Yeah, but when you say, I'm in the sports world. When you say, what do you think of Indianapolis? The first thing that's going to pop to my mind right now is Colts, Peyton Manning, or Lucas Oil Stadium. When you say, what do you think of in San Francisco? I go Golden Gate Bridge.
See, I was thinking about something like Seattle. Would you say Space Needle? That was the original question. When I say Seattle, what do you think of?
I see the Space Needle.
But it didn't have to be like a visual.
Yeah.
Like what comes to your mind? Just the city of Seattle.
Sadly, I think of that marketplace where they throw fish. Yeah.
Chicago, do you think of a hot dog?
I do not. Chicago.
Or deep dish pizza?
Chicago, I think of Wrigley Field.
I think Ferris Bueller. They went through Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, if I say Pittsburgh, what do you think of?
I think it's Steelers.
Just Steel, period?
Yeah.
Birmingham Light.
I think they call us Pittsburgh Light.
Birmingham with a river.
I heard it's a nice river.
Yeah.
It's three of them. Three of them right there. That's why they named the stadium Three Rivers.
Greedy bastards. They
All right.
give us one.
Speaking of three of them, that is 3 and Out today, brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tires.
Again, great guys, locally owned and operated. Stop into one of those locations, get a look at the brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. They can do it bumper to bumper for you and your family. For more information, go online, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
So are you going to stay here and he's going to stay there, or are you going to switch places?
We can do whatever you want.
It's probably easier if we just stay.
Okay, going to stay.
Let's just stay.
We're going to stay where we are, but when we come back, Lunsford is going to read us through. Did you pull 15 of them? In my head, I had you pulling 15.
17. I think 17 is what I have.
Okay, 17 of the best cuts from Wendy's Cut Day. If you're not familiar with what that is, Roast Day, Wendy's Roast Day. If you're not familiar with what that is, which apparently I'm not, Lunsford will explain that when we come back. Developing news, the ACC says they're not in favor of the college football expansion at this hour. They want to take care of reining in NIL, or at least putting some legislation down for that and the portal. And Slade Bolden has declared for the NFL draft. He's leaving Alabama. Those are your sports headlines. Much more coming up.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today, or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laservision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laservision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaservision.com.
Stay up to date with the next round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like the Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
Vulcan Tire and Automotive is hiring. If you want to take advantage of joining in with a local growing company in the automotive service industry, this is the opportunity for you. Hiring oil and tire technicians and more experienced mechanics. If you've got the talent and the desire, there is a spot for you at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Stop by one of their 4 locations and the manager on site can walk you through the pay scale, great benefits, and flexible work schedule. Get paid to build your future in the industry. Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laservision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laservision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaservision.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Bobby says Chick-fil-A's biscuits are surprisingly average, borderline bad. I've gotten where I'm not a huge biscuit guy in the morning, but I've always liked the Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but I've never liked the Chick-fil-A biscuits.
What about the chicken minis?
Chicken minis, my kids love.
I like all three. I got a chicken. I typically don't eat breakfast during the week, and I had them DoorDash the other day.
We were right beside a place in Indianapolis in our home that we rented up covering the national championship called Big Mouth Biscuits. And
was that next door to us?
It was right next door. It's where you got your emergency Uber ride. That's what that guy was doing. Was ordering.
They always called it City Yoga.
Look at this. Right here is that big. The biscuit is.
Was it good?
Stuffed with meat and stuff, but it was
stuffed with meat.
Well, I mean chicken or whatever you wanted right there. It was that big, and it was. It had almost like a waffle taste to it. It was delicious.
I was going to ask you, would you rather have a waffle with chicken in the mornings than biscuit?
I don't like that. I love chicken. I love waffles. I don't like them together.
Oh, I do. But I like it when it's chicken on the bone, like chicken thighs.
No, I do not like chicken on the bone. Too juicy. Too much going on.
I'd rather take it off the bone.
I love that breast.
Slade Bolden is on his way to the NFL. That's a big story today. We will talk about the NFL in the final segment of the show. But right now, Mortgage Right's about to bring you the best cuts from Wendy's Roast Day from earlier this week. Lunsford's pulled them, and our friends at Mortgage Right delivers them.
Look, the new year is here, and so is your chance to make the most of your home. Our friends at Mortgage Right, perfect solution for empty pockets, a cash-out refinance. With a cash-out refinance, you can fund your new year by taking advantage of home equity. Get started online. Go to mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, roast us. Let's see some stuff.
All right, so a lot of this is basically people will say, hey, roast my profile picture, and they'll make fun of them. But a lot of brands now do it. And so the first one was Velveeta Cheese, said, roast us. Wendy said, we're closer to being the first restaurant on Mars than you are being cheese.
Golly. Jeez, that cuts. Michael Scott was accurate, too.
Some guy named Donut Operator, I don't know who this is, he said, do me. And they said, we'll take words you've never heard for 500.
do me. Words you've never heard for 500.
Gillette Venus, like Gillette razor. They said, we can soothe any burn, so hit us with your best. And they said, you're going to love our new pink straw. It's an extra $2.50.
Man, razors are damn expensive. It's ridiculous.
But they charge more for female razors for some reason.
Because they do a lot more.
They color them pink, and they charge a lot more. At Will Brinson said, free medium fries, like with a promotion. What are you, the New York Giants? And they said the difference is you don't have to watch a QB sneak on 3rd and 9 while enjoying our tweets.
True. That was so crazy, them doing the QB sneak at the 3-yard line.
The Kansas City Royals said roast us. They said thinking about making you wait 30 years just to be petty. Bush Beer, they said roast us, and Wendy said you're what parents give their kids to keep them from drinking. Caitlin Harvey, a meteorologist for some news station, not here, said, roast me, and they said most jobs can be replaced by technology. Yours can be replaced by looking out a window.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Axe Body Spray said, roast us, and they said, remember when Axe was just created to cover up puberty?
Yeah, for sure.
There it is.
Mike's Hard Lemonade, roast us. Wendy said, still the worst tasting yellow liquid.
Jeez.
There's a lot of bad yellow liquids out there.
It's a close race, man. It's a close race.
The Nebraska Humane Society. I like this one. So they said, roast us, but know that Bella is standing by to judge you. And it's a picture of a dog named Bella. And they said, if you want to be humane, get the animals out of Nebraska. Let's see. T-Mobile said we'd like to order a spicy 10-piece roast. Wendy said 10 pieces for one bar seems like a bad trade. Jägermeister said take your best shot. Wendy said sure, I'll have a tequila.
Do you think, let me ask you, is there any chance that they actually create this themselves? I'm talking about like getting... You think Jägermeister really reached out to them?
Well, get your name out.
I mean, they tweeted from their account. I don't know if they reach out to brands and say, hey, we got a good one. We'll pump you up. Basically, it's good advertising for you.
Yeah, because
I'm sure there's
that's
some
hard
of that
to think about on the fly. You know?
I'm sure there's some
and
of that.
That shot's such an easy setup.
The problem is, like, the brands are better because we all know the brands, but a lot of the funny ones are profile pictures. Some random guy will say roast me because he knows he has some nerdy looking profile picture, and they will just destroy these poor kids. They kind of have to have the visual for all of those, but it's pretty funny to see those.
I was telling Lunsford, this all originated from Reddit. There's a roast me subreddit where you literally get a card and write, I do sports, I live in Birmingham, Alabama, my name's Jim, and it's roast me, and it's just a profile pic, and people just, there are some funny people in this world, and there are some cruel funny people, but just to have that where it's just, they destroy you. I don't know why you would even do that, where you just have, I want to see, everybody thinks I'm probably 8 or 9. I want to see what they say about me, and they just destroy anything, any facial abnormality, you're going to get killed. Anyway, roast Wendy's.
Let's see, a few more. Triscuits said, roast us. Wendy said, you did it. You managed to make a cracker that tastes the same 10 years after you open the box.
I
do too. I kind of do.
You got to have something to drink, though.
Aviation Gin is the brand that Ryan Reynolds owns.
Okay.
Said, roast us. And they said, the desperation to be culturally relevant is not a gin flavor, but we love the effort.
You got one more?
2 more.
2 more.
A&W Restaurant said, do your worst, Wendy's, and they said, but then our food would taste like yours.
Oh, my God.
And then dictionary.com said, give us an example sentence for the word roast. And they said, if your parents buy you a dictionary for your birthday, your friends will roast you into therapy.
Oh, wow.
And that's Wendy's Roast Day, which is once a year. And it was earlier this week. Fantastic day on social media there with our friends at Wendy's. Thank you, Lunsford, for that. When we come back, a quick look at the NFL Wild Card Weekend, Super Wild Card Weekend, 5 games before we're back together on Monday on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
This hour of the next round is presented by Cardinal Roofing, the Cardinal rule for all your roofing needs. Your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 5-star reviews. Call Cardinal Roofing today, 205-900-ROOF, and mention the next round to receive $100 off your next roof replacement. Have you had a pipe burst, a washing machine overflow? Maybe your toilet or bathtub has overflowed upstairs and now you have water coming through your ceiling. Big problem for you? No problem for a dry tech specialist. They're ready to help. It is important to act immediately when water damage occurs. Failing to do so can cause mold, rot, and mildew issues. Long-term exposure to these toxins can cause many health issues down the road. So act fast. Your first step is calling Dry Tech Solutions, 205-637-0143. They have 24/7 emergency services, 205-637-0143 or mydrytech.com. The next round team is getting healthy in 2022. You could join the challenge as we look to lose weight with our friends at Way to Wellness. Plus, you can participate with your office as well and win a grand prize. For more information, go to nextroundlive.com.
Hey, beginning this month, our friends at Wayne's Pest Control, they're introducing their new Smart Pest solution. Smart Pest combines the effectiveness of traditional pest control services with 24/7 rodent monitoring. Smart Pest monitors and proactively communicates to prevent an infestation. Smart Pest is the most intelligent, eco-friendly pest control solution available today. Call 866-WAYNES1 and mention offer code TNR to receive $60 off your initial Smart Pest service. That's 866-WAYNES1.
When it comes to choosing a dentist, 2 things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from the next round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-Fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com.
A legendary coach once said, it's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win. Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Everybody makes New Year's resolutions. This year, how about a suggestion for the best resolution ever? If you're buying a new home or selling yours, use Holly Mack Wilson. Let a true experienced professional help you. Holly gets her clients' homes sold quickly and usually for more than asking price. Let Holly Mack Wilson help you buy with confidence and sell with success. Make the best resolution ever and call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446. That's 205-901-9446. Holly Mack Wilson, a Tuscaloosa Keller Williams agent.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store, The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Slade Bolden to the NFL, developing news on another Alabama starter. After I tell you about Tom Beckby. After years of searching for a classic jacket that was functional in the field in the city, Tom Beckby couldn't find one that he liked. So Tom Beckby decided to make his own. Since designing that very first jacket back in 2015, Tom Beckby has continued to draw inspiration from natural settings to produce classic outdoor equipment with time-tested, rugged materials. Visit the new Tom Beckby store right there in Mountain Brook Village. Really an amazing facility. A local business with the goal of outfitting you for the outdoors right here in Alabama and wherever the road takes you in Mountain Brook Village or online at tombeckby.com. That's BECKBE, tombeckby.com. Henry To'oTo'o is coming back to Alabama.
Needs to come back.
A big part of that Tide defense. That thing started to click there at the end for the Crimson Tide. Having him calling the plays in the middle for another year is big for that Tide defense. So Henry To'oTo'o coming back for another year.
Yeah, I think that's a big get. You know, we talk about how good this defense can be. I mean, it was a top 3, 4, 5 unit towards the end of the year.
Yeah, Matt said, I think Slade should have come back for another year. Returning to a Heisman quarterback would have built his draft stock. So To'oTo'o coming back. Bolden is not. John Mechie is on the clock. Maybe we'll get an answer from him coming up in the next 4 minutes. The deadline for that is coming up Monday. But in our final 3 minutes of the show, give me the best and worst matchups this weekend and wild card weekend in the National Football League. Best and worst matchups for you.
You know, I think the best matchup, at least on paper, is this 49ers-Cowboys. I think it's fascinating. You know, the 49ers finding their way in the playoffs, down 17. They lose that game, they're out. The Saints are in. Now they travel to Dallas, and Dallas has been an up-and-down team. And, you know, we talk about how good Dak Prescott can be, how good Micah Parsons can be on the other side of the ball. And I think this just it boils down to Jimmy Garoppolo, whether or not he turns the football over. I lean Dallas in this game. This number's gone from 3 to 3.5. You mentioned there's a lot of people that are jumping on the 49ers bandwagon. I think the 49ers are good enough without Garoppolo mistakes, complete enough now that they're healthy, especially with Trent Williams coming back, to win a Super Bowl. I don't think Dallas is that team, but I've got a feeling Dallas wins that team or wins this game. I think that's the best matchup. And the worst is obviously the biggest number on the board, Kansas City hosting Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger was kind of joking, we've got no shot, we're just going to go out, play, have fun. But just a few weeks ago, they had them down 30-0. This just doesn't seem like a great matchup for Pittsburgh.
Really surprised that's the primetime NBC game on Sunday night, not the 12 noon Sunday game where you find the Eagles and the Buccaneers, but that's how that shakes out. And interesting, Matt Mosely told us earlier, podcasted at nextroundlive.com, that 49er fans are trying to buy up tickets in Dallas. I wonder what the crowds will be like both in Dallas and in Los Angeles on Monday night, because I saw where Matt Stafford's wife on her podcast was pleading with Rams fans to not sell tickets or to buy tickets and be at the stadium.
Well, I don't know if you saw that, but Sean McVay and Matt Stafford both said after the game they were overwhelmed how many San Francisco fans were there. And I could just tell on the broadcast, you know, it was quiet early because the Rams were so good in that first half and they were up 17-0, and Matthew Stafford was playing great. But once the tide turned a little bit, you heard those 49ers fans, and they took over SoFi. I didn't realize there were that many San Francisco 49er fans. And back to your point on them traveling, or Arizona traveling to L.A., I don't know how many Cardinals fans there are.
Yeah,
I understand if it's Pittsburgh on the road, if it's the Chiefs on the road, the Eagles on the road.
Yeah, L.A.'s a big city, though. A lot of transplants there, so we'll see what the crowd's like. But what's it? Is it Kelly Stafford? What's her name?
Kelly Stafford.
Kelly Stafford out there pleading for don't sell your tickets in the playoffs. Home field is big, and the Cardinals have been great on the road. That's Monday night. We'll have time to talk about that on Monday and more of what's going on in the portal and everything. I'm with Jay right here. The NFL is so good from this point through the Super Bowl. Enjoy the hell out of the football season, counting down the final games.
Good luck to your team, man. I think it's going to be a little more difficult than a lot of people think. It comes down to Jalen Hurts, though.
Yeah.
If they're able to run the football on that defense, which is going to be tough,
Again, that's the best rushing team in the NFL right now. The Eagles are.
And forecast is for rain. We'll see if that forecast changes quickly down in Tampa. We'll see what it's really like by the time they kick it off at 12 noon. Hopefully I got another Buccaneer jersey or shirt on come Monday and not suffering from a loss. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for being with us on the travels to Dallas and Indianapolis. Thanks for all of you kind folks over in the Farmfolio chat room. We'll see you back here Monday. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.